Hey everybody, hope you can hear me. How you guys doing out there? Paul, I see you in Mexico. How are you feeling, my friend? You know I love you.
I am wonderful.
We are live as always on Tuesdays and Thursdays, our 1 p.m. live show. Paul, I call it the big show because Mo has his live shows in the morning, so I say join us on the big show in the afternoon, but here we are. As always, we welcome you in. If you're watching on your phone at home, maybe you're traveling, we're glad that you joined us. We see all of our patrons on there, and you know I yub ya. Those patrons, I love you. We're doing great here, Paul. You're coming home from Mexico tomorrow. Your vacation's almost over. How is it going down there?
It's going wonderful. As I always say, it's more of a change in venue than anything, and it's wonderful. And today we had breakfast with Joaquin and Ruben. And that was fun. We were planning a Joaquin birthday trip in August where we might do Oaxaca or Mexico City. So it's been pretty enjoyable.
Oaxaca. Nice. Well, today, Paul, I wanted to bring, we've been doing a little Q&A Thursday, but I think with next week's events, it's a fantabulous week for us, Paul, and for Everything Money, for our patrons as the software comes out next Thursday. We're 1 week away. Talk about your excitement again, Paul, with the final revisions you're making, the bug fixes, and what patrons are going to get in 1 week. Go ahead, my friend.
So I don't want to dwell on negative to start, but the bug fixes are going to be a constant thing for the rest of time on the software. We're going to have a lot of things to fix. We've only had a few dozen people at a time on the software. So when we make it 1,800 people, there are going to be bugs that are going to pop up. I appreciate everybody's patience. But that's kind of why part of the reason I give such a big discount to you guys early. I'm so excited about the software. I think yesterday we were on a walk and I was just walking with Tim, just talking about, and Mo, and just talking about the software and all the things we're going to do with it in the future. And then, I don't think I could be more excited about any software right now in terms of Everything Money. It's going to be a great way for people to really take what we're teaching them on this channel and make it and apply it to their everyday investing life. It's only going to get better. And people have been sending me suggestions, and I don't mean it to say this way. We've been thinking about everything. I don't think anybody sent me, one person I think has sent me an original suggestion. I don't mean that to be Like, I just mean it to say that's how much we think about the software. Like, literally, it's how do we make this your go-to website for everything having to do with money. Something as simple as our retirement calculator. A friend of mine who's used a lot of retirement calculators said it's the best one he's ever seen. And I just didn't think it was that special. I just thought it was like, okay, this is gonna be a great way to see, can I live my retirement and can I die with enough money? So things like that are just incredible. We're talking about news sources. Listen, I could talk for hours about this software, but the bottom line is it's great. It's wonderful. I use it myself. Like, I barely use Y charts. I only keep Y charts just as a way of validating the data between the two and also I want to get ideas from Y charts, things I can put into our site that works well with Y charts, et cetera. So I love it. I'm excited, and it comes out in a week. And I think you all made a great investment in yourselves by signing up for Patreon and getting this low price. Because next week, the price is going to jump up. Right now, it's $18 a month for the Patreon level. It will go to, I think I'm going to announce $22 a month on April 15th was what the price will go to. And it'll go up from there all the way up to $49 a month at some point in the next year. So you have to make a decision for yourself. Do you want it for 18 or 49? You decide.
Yeah, Paul, that's some exciting news. Patrons, we are going live next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern for your Patreon only. Your specific fireside chat at Paul's Mansion. We'll be answering just your questions. Paul, we get about 1,000 comments on the side of YouTube here, 1,000 comments an hour. They're flying in. And so when we go live, we get about 150 great patrons, and we speak directly to you guys for 90 minutes. It's very casual, unscripted as always, and uncensored. So you hear a little more of the real Paul that YouTube won't let him talk about. But in essence, Paul, I think what I brought up going on next week was this alarming trend with companies going public, the IPO, and of course, what they're expecting to be one of the biggest ones is Coinbase. Now, I called you in December of 2017 or 18 and mentioned this revolutionary thing called Bitcoin. All my friends are getting on it, and it was incredible. I bought a few coins. I sold my Bitcoin on the show last summer. I had 3 coins. I bought them somewhere in between $3,000 and $6,000. I sold them on the show last year, live on the show, for 25 grand in profit. But Coinbase is coming out. The IPO is coming out next week, and they're saying, Paul, it's going to explode. So I want to get your thoughts on this, and we can start with Coinbase. I have questions about other IPOs and IPOs in general. I'd also like to take a look at some IPOs from potentially last year and see what actually happened. So, Paul, before we get into Coinbase, what is your general take on IPOs, and what is your thought process when they come out?
So let's remember, when an IPO comes out, what is the process? A company will hire an investment bank. An investment bank's job is to drum up excitement for the IPO. They go on a road tour. They meet with a bunch of funds and other investors, retail investors, and say, this thing is the next big thing. You got to get in now. Their job is to sell. And their job is to make the picture look as rosy as possible. If you look at the history of IPOs, they tend to not do very well. You know me. I'm a big believer in wait for the dust to settle, wait for the company to be a solidly cash flowing business that has a little bit less hype and a little less excitement so that the prices and the valuations aren't skyrocketing. With IPOs, it's all about hype and excitement because the investment bank gets paid a fee. And part of their pitch is we will get a huge number for you in your IPO. And a lot of times they're given shares to sell in the IPO later. So do they have a vested interest in making the company seem like a good value or an overpriced company? That's the point. I will say this. I regret one IPO I was offered shares in that I didn't take, and that was Google. But other than that, guys, I've been offered a lot of IPOs in my day, and I've never regretted not taking a single one of them. Still more? No, it's the other way. Oh, was I going the wrong way?
I told Paul to turn down his mic, and I think he turned it up, guys. So we're getting that dialed in.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're great,
Is everybody
Paul.
complaining?
Yeah, no. You're great. Only me. So Paul, let me tell you about Coinbase because obviously the numbers are staggering. I wanted to talk about this today, Paul, because I keep having these conversations with general people in my life, whether they're patrons, followers, or just someone I just randomly talk to. And in the process I'm finding for a lot of people, Paul, is if I want to, investing, as we know, is completely exploded the past year. It's helped our channel. A lot of young and new investors, Robinhood, Webull, a lot of new people signing up. And they're going to YouTube. They're finding the hype channels. And I'm not incredibly confident that they can differentiate the difference between long-term value investing and general 15-minute to day trading. And so I keep hearing stories, potentially it's like you, of people who got into this new trend of investing because it feels great to make money. And perhaps you got burned on some of these companies that we've brought up a zillion times. The Palantirs, the Nikolas, the Neos, which some of these have fallen in half. ARK ETFs. Paul, I had a conversation with a colleague of mine yesterday. He said that they're on the West Coast. He said that their wife was the CFO of a major company, Paul, and they were heavily invested in ARK ETFs and Palantir and Neo. And so I think the trend is now go to YouTube, find all the channels that are currently much more popular than ours, which you and I have said that that's probably going to remain the same because we're not always telling people what they want to hear. But the process is putting their money in some of these riskier companies that really have no long-term financial history here. And it starts off with these, I think it starts off with these very popular IPOs. So, I mean, tell everyone who's new your mindset on that process, what's going on nowadays.
A rising tide raises all ships. So when the market is booming, every stock is going to go up. For all the people out there who send me messages thanking me so much for my stock advice, I never give stock advice. What I give is my evaluation of a company. And when the market's up a lot, I will not take credit for a stock going up a lot. Now, with that said, 15 years from now, when you've beaten the market by 2 or 3% because you follow my words to a T, and you beat the market by 2, 3, 4% a year, I will gladly take your thank yous and Paul, you're a genius and blah, blah, blah. A rising tide will always raise all ships. As Warren Buffett will say, you don't know who's naked until the tide recedes. So just like in 2000, the dot-com bubble, these ARK investments and the Palantir. By the way, Palantir is started by a guy who I very, very much respect, who also loves cryptocurrency. I just very much respect him as a thinker and as a businessman. But he's a hype investor, which I'm fine with. He's a venture capitalist, Peter Thiel, or how you pronounce his last name. You have to remember that it's easy. It's just like getting married. It's easy to get along when you're a newlywed. But when you've been together for 10 years, had a couple kids, and there's a little bit of issues there, who are the ones that really last? That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to look at stocks and investments like a relationship. At what point do you realize you're in the 10th year of your marriage? And it's not just about where's the euphoria and excitement, but where is the we get along? The we get along is where's the cash flow? The hype is the euphoria and excitement of getting married and all that stuff. And nobody can do any wrong. That doesn't last forever. But the companies that last forever are the relationships that last forever. The ones that have cash flow, the ones that get along well. A rising tide will raise all ships, and you won't know who's naked until the tide recedes. And the tide receding is a bear market. And once a bear market happens, a bad one, we're going to have some people saying, mark my words, guys, I want to have this on camera. There will be a time when people say, well, it was so obvious ARK investment wasn't going to work out. It was so obvious Tesla was overpriced. I mean, they only sold 500,000 cars and they're worth $800 billion. It's really obvious they went and lost 90% of their value, 95% of their value. Well, I'm saying it now. Not many people are saying it. So if it was so obvious, why isn't everybody saying it? That's what I heard in the 2000 dot-com bust. That's what I heard in 06 and 07 about the real estate bust. Well, it was so obvious real estate couldn't go forever because everybody and their mother became a real estate investor. It was so obvious stocks were overpriced because everybody and their mother was making 100% a year on their stocks in 2000. I don't see a difference to today. That's it.
Let me tell you about Coinbase, Paul. This is going to be next week. It's they're going through a direct listing IPO, which is somewhat different. It's the largest cryptocurrency in the United States exchange. I was a part of Coinbase. I think a lot of people who are in Bitcoin probably are. It trades, of course, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and all the hundreds, I guess, however many ridiculous coins there are. It has 56 million verified accounts. They made 1.3 billion last year in revenue and a profit of 300 mil. And everyone's saying this is going to explode. So Are you? I know you're not, but why aren't you buying on the open next Thursday when this IPO comes out? How could this possibly not do what everyone thinks it's going to do?
Just like the same reason why when Facebook went public, it didn't do what everybody expected to do and have a big pop, and it actually went down a little bit, and then all of a sudden now it's huge. I mean, guys, stocks are not just these trading chips of what's. I mean, when there's so much hype about something, at some point the hype doesn't last, and it's gotta be just about what's behind the company. The short run, stocks are a voting machine. The long run, they're a weighing machine. History has shown that IPOs don't do well over long periods of time. Could it pop next week? Absolutely, it could pop. First day it could pop. It could go up 100%. It could go up. I don't know what it's going to do. My point is, what's the company about? How do they generate cash flow? And what's the future of that cash flow going to look like? Because every single investment is about the present value of all future cash flows. If the present value of all future, if you pay too much for all future cash flows, you can make a bad investment, even if the cash flows increase by a lot. That's it.
I had a nice conversation with one of our patrons yesterday, Harry, Paul, and he has some interesting takes on our show I'd love to share with you.
Harry Carlisle?
Yeah, he's great. Harry says that the pre-IPO shares are trading at $375 a piece with a valuation over $100 billion. Of course, I don't know if that. He says that's insane. Is it nowadays? I mean,
I don't know. I don't even know what's behind. Like, Harry, what's their revenue? What's their profit? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah. So as I was saying, Paul, they did 1.3 billion last year. Their
in revenue.
Yeah, their profit was only 320 million. They're having an enormous year. They had 43 million verified accounts in December. They're up to 56 now. It's been a great first quarter for them.
And what happens? So basically, when you're buying Coinbase, you're betting on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. By the way, how many cryptocurrencies are there right now? Does anybody know?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. It's hard to keep track, Paul. Go ahead.
I read a number the other day of 6,600. How many currencies from countries are there in the world? There aren't 6,600. I'm looking at going, geez, oh, Pete, talk about when people say like, oh, it's a set amount. Oh, yeah, it's a set amount per currency, but there's a billion currencies.
Yeah, so Joe says, who are their competitors, though? I mean, you might have a point. Paul, I guess, obviously, you're coming at this from a value investor's mindset. Is this something that Trader Mo would love to get in on next Thursday? And for our patrons in the Bidnass Nation, that middle Patreon tier, are they going to make some money trading this? Go ahead, Paul.
He looks at charts, so he needs more than one day of charts to make his decisions. He's not a 15-minute trader. But he can do 15 minutes if you want. Now, in the future, as a month goes by, 2 months goes by, absolutely, this will be a momentum trade and it'll be a chart trade. You just have to sit there and wait for that stuff to happen. When it comes to that stuff, I couldn't care less what's behind the company. I just care what's the price doing. That's all I care about.
Yeah, other people saying, RJ's saying that maybe Mo would not be trading this. Other people saying there's even more cryptos, Paul, 9,000. Yeah, it's hard to keep track. I mean, as you said, people are sometimes see people are making these just kind of to be funny and they end up taking off. And so I didn't want to make this about crypto, but in just terms of IPOs, Paul, there are some other popular IPOs I'd love to maybe look at. Do they have a long history of financials? No, but maybe we can learn from their current financials, their current price, and your thoughts. So can you pull up, folks, moving forward in the video, I do know that GEO Group had a massive news story come out with their dividend, and we had some movement with that. So people are asking for that, Paul. The GEO Group, isn't that those Florida jails, jail production? So we'll get to that.
Yeah. When did we look at GEO Group last?
A few weeks ago, but this was prior to them. I'll pull up the news article, but first, Paul, I'd love to get into this one. This one we've covered before. Palantir is huge. We've covered this one before, and we keep getting requests for it. I think it's time for an update. This was an IPO last year. Obviously, it had a tremendous initial run, and it's backed down. A lot of people lost a lot of money. Can you pull up the Everything Money software, or you're sure? Okay, you're on Y charts. That's
yeah,
okay.
I'll pull up Everything Money. Hang on a second. Just to show their chart.
Yep.
So, do you have it shared?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, is it sharing right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, great. So, guys, it went public. It is up a lot still. It went public. Since it went public, look how high it got, guys. This is $39 a share. 38.17. It's all the way down to $23. So here's my argument. Now, the same can be said about value investing. The difference is hype needs the short run. And if the short run hype is incredible, why is it down almost 50% from its high? If it was such an incredible stock with upside potential that's huge, why is it down 50% when the market is up since February, right? The market's up, and yet this stock is down almost 50% because hype eventually subsides. Hype eventually goes away. How do we have a $41 billion company with free cash flow of $92 million? It's just really, really difficult to have that happen. I don't need to show anything else besides that. And I love Peter Thiel, or Thiel, however you pronounce his last name. I love him. I think he's great. But at some point, you got to sit there and say, am I willing to pay $41 billion? What does the company have to generate in free cash flow for me to be okay with $41 billion? $2 billion, a lot of growth potential? Maybe so. It's so far away from that. That's the hard part, guys. It's so far away from that. At some point, you got to sit there and just go, okay, what am I buying here? If you're buying a momentum trade or a chart trade, then you don't care about this stuff. I'm fine with that. This would have been maybe it had been a good short at some point for Mo or our momentum trading software when it comes out. I don't know. I'm just saying from a fundamental standpoint, all the numbers are just ugly. I'd rather pay $41 billion. I'd rather pay $80 billion for this company years from now when it's generating $4 billion in profit, $5-6 billion in profit. And somebody would say, well, Paul, you could have bought it at $23. Now it's $45. Yeah, but I bought a more secure situation. That's what I'm after. I'm after buying a more stable and secure. I'd rather pay more for more stability and more security.
Yeah, you mentioned that stability, Paul. We're getting some comments about how Cathie Wood and the ARK hype train added Palantir, and a lot of people investing in ARK were getting dragged through that same person I talked to, who their wife is a CFO who bought this. They actually thought. They think that Cathie Wood is incredibly intelligent, which I'm sure she is, but her hype train they thought they were buying a safe ETF in buying ARK, and they have completely lost their rear end on some investing. And so,
first off, I want to make an official statement here. Official Paul Gabriel emergency, what's it called? Emergency press conference. Cathie Wood is a moron. That's it. She wants to invest in when you start blending hype with value, justifying the hype with value, but then saying value is dead, then I lose all respect for you. Complete and utter respect for you. I believe, and I've been wrong many times in the past, I believe that ARK will be down a lot further than it has been down since its peak. If you look at this, the peak was 156 almost 2 months ago, and now it's at 124. And at one point was down to 111, 110. Guys, I just think it's going to be ugly. Look at their top holdings. Tesla, Square, Teladoc, Roku, Zillow Group, Baidu. Let's go look at the average PE of the top 10 holdings. Look at this. 11% of the company is Tesla.
Can you blow 11%. That up a little bigger, Paul? Can you blow that up a little bigger?
Absolutely.
There you go.
These are the top holdings of the company. I mean, these are very, very expensive companies. And at the end of the day, guys, when I've run my back test over 20 years and I invest and I run a back test on the overpriced PEs because they have so much potential, they always lose to the market. They always lose because at some point, all it takes is Tesla when Tesla, this stock. I'm just, listen, if you want to put all your money in ARK, have fun. If you want to put a portion of it, have fun. But at the end of the day, you've got to remember that we're in a very, very, very bubblish market and an expensive market. And in the long run, that doesn't work. If you think you can if you can exit the room faster than everybody else, more power to you. But it never happens that way, because in order to buy into this hype, you're not going to be, if you have no reason to buy into the hype based on fundamentals, you won't know when to exit. Because you know what people are saying now probably? 123, 124, it'll rebound. But if I told you when ARK was here that it was going to be 123 in 2 months, you'd have been like, you're crazy. Okay.
Paul, we have
down
that
20%, just like that.
We have that in the chat right now. Ronan says this dude's a dummy. He must be talking about me. But yeah, look at this. ARK funds will go right up over the next 5, and this is a great thing to do, Paul. I mean, they're saying you don't have to wait. They're saying it to you right now.
Oh, fine by me. Listen, more power to you. I get it. It's exciting. She says we invest in disruptive businesses. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see what's disruptive. I still don't believe Tesla's disruptive. The one I do believe is disruptive is Uber. And I don't even see Uber on here. Do you?
Mm-mm.
No, I don't see Uber at all on here. Roku, I mean, I don't think Roku is disruptive. It does a great job. I don't think they're disruptive. Square, I mean, they do a great job, but Stripe is there too. I mean, I don't know. I just don't see disruption in this. It's like people say whatever they want to say in order to make people feel warm and fuzzy inside. That's all they do. It's whatever justification you need to do it. Go ahead, Seth.
Beaker keeps saying, and people, guys, I don't know what Poncho is, but someone let me know. I'm really out of it. Oh no, maybe
Poncho is the.
Oh, of course, the monkey. Oh, okay, got it. The Mexican monkey, Poncho. All right, guys. Yeah, Paul. Okay, well, listen. I knew there wasn't much to say about Palantir in your opinion, and which you've taught myself and all of our sort of everything minions is to stay away from a hype stock like this. You know, my son wants to buy Roblox, Paul. Now, Roblox, again, another one just like Tesla. Fantastic company, terrible stock price, and I show people the chart for Roblox, what it opened at and what it is now.
What's the Roblox?
Yeah, it's
what's the ticker?
It's sorry, but it's RBLX.
It's not even popping up for me. Let me see on here.
Cool. There you go.
Oh, geez. It just went public like last month.
Yes.
Oh, look at this disruption. Opened at $69.50. It's currently $70.90. Sick. I don't see wide chart's not showing any revenue, any profit, and it's a $40 billion company. So Seth, right now your wedding business is at $200,000 a year in revenue.
Yeah.
Should now be worth what, $500 billion according to this?
Oh, I see. That sounds about right. Now, they do have a wide range.
Here's the revenue.
Go ahead, Paul.
Here's the revenue. There we go, Peanut. Okay. That's pretty good.
Show it to me now.
More and more losses. Oh, they keep the shares outstanding the same. Good for them. Why does GEO want Roblox? What do they even do?
It's
online entertainment platform. Go ahead.
Oh, it's a video game, right? I mean, I don't play, but I see them playing. It's like a Fortnite type video game. As far as I know, I mean, I see them playing it on the iPad. Maybe Beth could chime in with what the heck it does, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, my son asked me yesterday. Now, it was funny. Is my 7-year-old said, I want to invest. You know, Hank said, I want to invest in Roblox. And Geo says, don't buy it right now. It's too young, of course. So people are asking about when my son's going to open up his own fund. But yeah, but anyway, you know,
I'll never let Geo open a fund.
Oh, really?
I mean, why have that? Why have that stress? Why have people tell you you're wrong? I don't get that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Jake's saying it's a video game platform, not just a game. Yeah, I wouldn't even know, but I mean, yeah. Video game. Kent says video game is such a 90s term. Yeah, I guess I was born in the 80s. Okay. Paul, do you want to look at now listen, another one we had, which is really interesting. If you pull up the charts for Snowflake, this was another IPO that came out last year. Pretty interesting. We've done a video on Snowflake before, and look at this, Paul.
Oh my God, look at this chart. So the first price we have is September 16th at 254, and now it's at 233. It got as high as 387. And now it's 233. So it's lower than when it went public. Now that's not the IPO price. That's the first price that hit the market. So it probably was IPO'd at a different price. Remember, people, unless you have a lot of money and your bank loves you, you're not getting IPO price. You're getting the first market price. The first market price here was $254, and now it's at $234. So it's down $20, about 10%, since it about 8% since it went public. That's sick. You there?
I'm here. I thought you were going to talk about the revenue.
I mean, there's not much revenue to go off of. I don't see a comparison for years. They lost a lot of money. The revenue here is $510 million, lost $539. I mean, what is there to really discuss?
Why don't you pull up DoorDash, Paul? I want you to get a look at DoorDash. DoorDash, when I came out, went public last year with the IPO. Maybe look at this. People ask us about this stock all the time. It's just Dash, Paul. There you go. DoorDash.
Thank you. All right. Another one. Yippee! 189.51. 127 now. Yippee!
People in the comments are saying, "Are you there, Seth? What if I just left the show, Paul? You just left you there hanging in Mexico?" Yeah. I mean, the funny part is, I sort of knew the show was going to go like this. It's like, hey, Paul, what do you think of this crazy IPO? People are asking about Airbnb. Do you want to pull it up? I mean, I guess
I actually do agree. I agree with RJ Wolf. Airbnb is disruptive. I do agree with that. I do think that Airbnb is a disruptive company, and you didn't see it in Kathy Woods' ARK investment. I do think Airbnb is disruptive. They went and took an entire hotel industry and said, hey, people, instead of staying at a hotel, stay here. And oh, by the way, you have a house that you have rented, vacant, come rent it for whatever amount of money. I think it's a phenomenal idea. I do agree with RJ 100% on that. It's a very disruptive business.
Will you pull up Airbnb and give us a look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh. All right, this one's up a little bit. It went public at 144. Now it's at 180. Not bad. Let's see the income statement. Let's go by quarters. We don't have. Oh, see, that's the thing. The feed isn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what it is on there. Financials. Okay, so here are the financials here by wow. That makes sense. No, it was a lot of travel. That's why the revenue was down. Boy, look at that loss last year. Whew.
Wow, $4.5 billion.
Yeah. Now, granted, what are they selling for? $110 billion? Jesus Christ.
What does that mean, Paul? I mean, you just say it and you like rub your head, but like for a dummy like me, what does that mean?
So, Seth, if the historical PE in the stock market's 15, let's say we assign a 20 PE. We want to pay 20 times earnings because it has a lot of growth potential, which is still expensive, but has a lot of growth potential. At $110 billion market cap, it needs to make $5.5 billion per year in profit, not revenue, in profit. Last year, they lost 4.6. Previously, they haven't made profit yet. So to justify today's current value, let's say you said, I'm willing to pay 40 times earnings. It still needs to profit $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion it needs to profit. And let's say the bottom line margin, which would be, let's say 20%, which is very high. That means it needs to have $12.5 billion in revenue to justify its price, assuming a lot of things. These are all very, very high value. And don't forget, guys, cities, just like Uber, cities are now banning Airbnbs. My neighborhood in Mexico, they ban Airbnb rentals. They don't let you rent now for short term. They don't let you do it at all. That's a big risk to the business.
Yeah, my wife chimed in. Maybe you guys are noticing this out there, but boy, these extra fees they're slapping on, Paul. They pull you in with $100 a night. Then it's an $80 cleaning fee, and you get nickel and dime till it's back up to $220 a night. That's crazy, right? I mean, I love Airbnb, and I do think it was transformative in terms of making any room in the world a hotel room. It's been helpful for travelers, but yeah, it's just interesting, the price and where it's headed. Paul, people are saying, we forgot about this one, Paul, and I'm glad someone brought it up. We're huge fans of Dan Gilbert, the Cleveland Cavs, and Rocket Mortgage. Can you pull up Rocket Mortgage? As you and I both know, that company is absurd. I'd love to see what their price is and what's going on with them.
Okay, so Rocket Mortgage, I know the ones that are Rocket companies. I'm going to go to wide charts here.
RKT.
Oh my God, look at that revenue. Look at that revenue last year. What the heck? See, guys, even wide charts has some messed up data. It's showing zero profit the last 2 years. Is it really possible that they broke exactly even? I doubt that. Let's see here. Revenue, net income. See, the net income's not even adding up. It isn't even proper. So market cap of 44 billion. Net income of 3.7. I mean, that's not even, look at this. So for everybody who's going to complain that we have bugs, this doesn't even add up. $44 billion market cap divided by 3.75 is roughly 12 PE, and it's showing a PE of 6.6. So I don't get that. But either way, and the other thing is the financials don't even show 3 point. Yeah, this is weird. Why is it doing this? This is Y charts. I don't even see why the data is this way. Let's look up. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What are we looking at?
Mortgage, Rocket Mortgage Financials.
Let's see here. Sales and revenue, 15.15. Net income. Where's net income? Oh, it's the same thing. Even MarketWatch has the same data we have. That's weird. All right. So either way, guys, Rocket Mortgage did a smart thing by going public during one of the most hyped times for mortgages. If you believe mortgages are going to continue on this path for a long, long time, I'm sure Rocket Mortgage, they're the number one lender in the country, probably a good bet, especially if they made $4 billion last year on a $44 billion market cap. I mean, that's a lot of money. That's only 11 to 1. So maybe you should consider it. But I'm a big believer in what's more likely, mortgage applications fall or go up from here or stay the same. I would bet they're going to fall. I'm not trying to be negative. It's just we've seen record mortgage applications in the last few years. It's been crazy.
Paul, they want to get a shorts check real quick right before we go into the news about GEO
Group. I have
Group.
boring shorts today.
Tilt that computer down a bit. Look at you. Look at that. Look at that beautiful home. Oh, these are boring, Paul. You look like a dad bod with those things.
I do look like a dad.
Look at the staff working hard out there, getting ready for.
Yeah, for me, 9-inch inseam versus 7.
The staff working hard out there to get lunch ready. Paul, let's talk about GEO Group. Let's pull it up and give it a look. We've been getting a lot of requests. GEO stock. This is GEO Group is headquarters in Boca Raton, Florida. It's a publicly traded real estate investment. This is a REIT, Paul, in private prisons and mental health. We've talked about this on the show before. And recently, Paul, the big thing is their dividend is dropping. Maybe we get some help out there about the exact specifications of what's going on, folks. You can let us know. Those of you who probably know more about this than us, but I definitely want to get Paul's take on it. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I think when we did the stock, I remember saying, look at our dividends of $213 million versus a 5-year average free cash flow of $151. So it was sitting there saying, okay, the last year was $333 million in free cash flow. So, okay, it's possible. But when you look at the 5-year average of 150, it kind of makes it difficult to sit there and say, how is this sustainable? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know. And they just recently announced, let's look it up. Let's look up the GEO Group. GEO Group dividend to maximize repayment of debt. So they're cutting the dividend to maximize repayment of their debt. Let's see their debt levels. Let's see their balance sheet. Their balance sheet total. Oh, really? It's not that much. Interesting. So maybe they just did it to justify. Well, revenues were quarterly. Let's go to 4 quarters. Oh, wow. I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot, but hey, I guess it is a lot. But they have $3.3 billion in debt, total liabilities. It's been pretty stable for the last, let's see, annual. They've been paying it down a little bit. Okay. So either way, that's the thing, guys. When you look at dividends, I'm glad this happened because we look at dividends and think, oh, free money. What you got to look at is this: can the company really sustain that dividend? And when their average free cash flow of the last 5 years is lower than their annual dividend, at some point something's going to give. They might sit there and say, listen, we need to hoard our cash. We need to make sure we keep our cash in house, pay down our debt, increase our net income, whatever they're going to do with it. That's a very, very common theme amongst companies. The higher the ratio, the lower the ratio of their cash flow they're paying out in dividend, the better. And actually, that might be a metric we add to our metrics page of what percent, because there's a dividend payout ratio that's based on the earnings. I'd rather base it on the free cash flow, because the free cash flow is what you actually use to determine how much money is how much can they really afford their dividend. That's the big factor there.
Paul, should we run, while we're talking about GEO, I guess the real question is, should we run our 8 pillars on this, knowing now they're going to have potentially more free cash flow they're not paying out as a dividend, and the stock has since tanked? Is it a time to buy?
Yeah, what did we determine on the GEO Group before? The earnings are pretty stable. Are you sharing the screen right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's run through. Let's just take a look like it's new to us because it might be new to some people, and we haven't really hit them with the 8 pillars yet today, which is our motto here, the 8 pillar peeps. Let's keep going, Paul. So let's first look at what is the market cap for GEO Group.
So GEO Group is a $745 million company, $2.35 billion in revenue. I think when we looked at them, they were a $1 billion company. Net income of 113, so a very low PE, and that was very attractive to me. Low profit margin, so 1 check and 1 X. I remember this being the big jump, $333 million in free cash flow. And I think I said something like, you got to understand, why is the free cash flow over double their 5-year average? Huge dividend yield, ignore that. Very poor return on invested capital and return on assets. So they're not taking their cash and reinvesting it at high rates of return. That's why you need a discount for them, because when they have their cash, if they're going to keep it in-house and they're going to reinvest it at these terrible rates of return, that's not a good thing. Charlie Munger always says that basically over long periods of time, the return on assets and the return on invested capital are about what the stock will do in return. So in order to get above that, you have to pay a massive discount to the stock. So income growth over the last 5 years, 2.18 to 2.35. So check mark there, but it is down slightly from 19. Net income, 148 to 113. That's an X there. So we have seen a decline in the net income, but let's figure out why there was a drop so big from the previous year. What numbers?
This is pillar number 4. This is pillar number 4. We want to look at the profit trends over the past 5 years.
I mean, they had a $16 million special charge, but they also had a lot less revenue, so that could be part of it. And they have, okay, so shares outstanding, 111 to 119. So it's an X there, guys.
They're selling off more
Another
shares.
X.
Mm-hmm.
Balance sheet.
Current assets.
Total current assets, 500 million. Current liabilities, 422. So a check mark there. And like we said, the free cash flow is a check it's negative 109 to 333, massive check mark. And the 5-year average of 151 times 20 is 3 billion. And they're currently a $700 million company. So the price of free cash flow is very, very low and very attractive. So your job is a couple-fold. 1, figure out why the free cash flow has jumped up so much over the last 5 years. I mean, this is a massive number, guys. Look at this massive free cash flow number. This thing has gone, the company is currently selling for 2.5, not even 2.5 times free cash flow. Remember, most companies that look cheap are cheap for a reason. The value play is how you figure out why people are misrepresenting this free cash flow, this valuation. The stock fell a lot because they cut their dividend. Remember, people love their dividends. This could be a good trigger for you to go out there and figure out, well, why did they cut their dividend? Oh, it's to pay down their debt. Do they really want to pay down their debt, or is it something else? Are there other issues on the horizon? I don't know. I don't know enough about the private prison industry to be able to say that, but that's part of the due diligence and part of what we learn on the 8 pillars is how we go figure that out. Oh, by the way, guys, look at this stock analyzer tool. It's not out yet, but when it comes out, it's going to be pretty awesome. So right now, guys, it's only 3 X's, which doesn't sound bad, but yeah, I don't know. I just look at this thinking you have to do a lot of research on this company to figure out exactly why they're so far down. Because even with that dividend being there and the stock not losing 25%, it still looked like a very good value play. So you have to figure out, you have to do more due diligence about why it is. I don't know the answers to that. To be honest, I don't know if private prison probably relies a lot on government money. I don't know how I feel about that. It's just the same as like those government contractors, military contractors. I tend to not enjoy those so much because I don't have to worry about what political uprising is happening and what we're doing in this. I just prefer to stay away from that and find more businesses that are more consistent, that understand their exact product.
Final take on GEO Group, even after this massive decline, Paul.
Just go do more research on them. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing more research on them, but there's no immediate yes, because it has dropped a lot. And I want to know why most people will sit there and say, look, their free cash flow is so much bigger now. That's great. And I look at it and say, oh my God, their free cash flow is so much bigger now. Why?
Paul, let's look at a different one. Other people are saying we should look at UWMC. UWMC is the ticker symbol. UWMC. What is this? Here we go. What is this guy?
I don't see it.
This is UWMC is UWM Holdings. Oh, United Wholesale Mortgage. This is my mortgage company, Paul. How funny.
Is it really?
Are you have it pulled up on Y charts?
I have it pulled up on Y charts. Remember, guys, I don't do 8 pillars for companies that have been around for less than 5 years with 5-year data. And this data doesn't look right. Oh boy. See, look at why. Listen, guys, the data feed is only as good as Morningstar sends us. And obviously their data feed, it's showing $6.6 million in, they don't even have revenue here. There's no revenue. They're not even showing revenue here.
Tough one to look at.
Yeah. I mean, what's the reason why somebody was interested in this? Is how far they've fallen? They've fallen in half since December.
Yeah, they're saying it's Rocket's competitor. A Bitler is saying it's a Rocket Mortgage. Is it Rocket Mortgage competitor? Other people are saying it's another mortgage lender. Jonathan's saying, yeah. So mortgage lender. Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, mortgage lender. Paul, what is with this? I was gonna say I've lived in my house 18 months and gone through 3 mortgage places. They keep selling them to each other. This happens to be who owns my mortgage at the moment. So, yeah, UMC is going down. Rates
mortgage is sold. So, guys, what everybody who's watching right now to see this software. This thing comes out next week. This is gonna be awesome for everyone to be able to look at every stock individually, look at the 8 pillars, and then 8-pillar portfolio. You'll be able to input your portfolio of stocks, and it'll tell you how they look all together in the 8 pillars overall. I'm going to delete Matt's test portfolio because Matt lied to me. But I look at this saying, this is going to be a great way for you to take your portfolio, put it in there, determine how your portfolio looks versus the 8 pillars. Do you get all 8 checks? Do you get 6 checks? Things like that. This is part of the software that we're making better and better. And this wasn't supposed to be part of the software for another 6 months. I was able to get it done sooner. So you're getting more next Thursday than you would have. But next Thursday, the price goes from $18 to $22 immediately. Next Thursday, 18 to 22. So you have to decide for yourself. And that's on its way to 49 at some point in the future. So decide for yourself right now. Do I want to pay $18 now to have something in the future that I'm going to want and need and get the Discord community and all 1,800 people all talking to each other about investing? Or do I want to be penny wise and dollar dumb and ignore the $18 and then regret it later when everybody else is paying 18 and you're now paying 40 because you finally realize, oh my God, I do need this software. Go sign up. The best move you'll make. We get a lot of signups. I mean, guys, I looked at our good friend Stock Mo, not Trader Mo, Stock Mo's Patreon. He's down 30% in his Patreon because he doesn't add any value to his Patreon. We provide software. The only way to get the software is to join our Patreon. You'll be able to be in Discord with our like-minded investors. I plug the crap out of this thing because we're giving away Teslas. I had a March Madness bracket. No entry fee. 4 people got $2,000, $1,500, and $250 just by playing a stupid game that I love doing because I like giving back to everybody. Everybody in the top level tier, they just got 2 Yetis, a big one, a 20-ounce and a 10-ounce Yeti for free. I just like, you know what, guys? Thanks for supporting us. Here are the Everything Money Yetis. This is so worth it, and you get discounts on all of our Crossroads Group products. Not merch, products. Do you want a vanity, a light fixture, a vacation home in Mexico? All these things, you get a discount by being a Patreon. These could all pay for themselves very quickly. Do not be foolish. Go sign up now, please, because Seth said he quits if we don't get 3,000 patrons by next week. So
true.
You guys decide what we're going to do.
Before we leave today's show, we'll have Paul take his laptop out there and show you the beautiful Mexican, the beautiful Mexican waters hitting the cliffs below. And Paul, right now, while you catch your breath, I'm just going to show the Tesla video real quick, guys. Check this out real quick. While we just a 1-minute video. Check this out. Let's see if this plays.
Guys, it's Seth and Paul for Everything Money. Some YouTubers give away a cup holder or a book bag when they hit 50,000 subscribers. But here at Everything Money, we wanted to go bigger. Quite frankly, because Uncle Paul has disposable income. So we're giving away this stunning 1998 Dodge Stratus. Just kidding. We're giving away a brand new Tesla. Actually, we're giving away 2 of them.
Everything Money is giving away a brand new Tesla Model 3 when we hit 50,000 subscribers. And we're giving a second car away when we hit 100K.
That's right. You may be driving this car. Here's how to enter. go to patreon.com/everythingmoney and join our community. Or click the link below to learn more. The great news is, as a Patreon member, you're automatically entered to win. You also get access to the amazing Everything Money software, a Discord channel with like-minded investors like you all over the world, and access to Paul and Trader Mo. If you're finally serious about leveling up your investing game, check out the link below and you could win one of these. The cars, not the bros.
That's the Tesla giveaway. We've talked about it a zillion times. It's happening. Some of our patrons are saying we're just a few subscribers away from someone winning. So it's very exciting, Paul. Paul, people have been asking us for some particular stocks. I want to know if you have time to run through them.
Which one?
Well, we've done Kroger in the past and people are asking about it. I'd love to run an 8-pillar on Kroger. People seem to be interested. You want to get after it?
We do Kroger too much, but can I talk about Matthias' comment there? I think it's a good comment to make.
Go ahead.
Do you see it?
Yep, there it is.
All right, guys. Do you think that as more institutional investors, companies invest in Bitcoin, it'll be tougher for the U.S. government to ban it? I'm not trying to get political here, but everybody wants their handouts. The more power you give the government, the more they can do against you. They 1,000,000% can ban Bitcoin and anything they want because they have unlimited powers. They absolutely will at some point ban it if they think it's a threat to their own currency, or that people are using it to try to hide their taxes and income. If you think that's not going to happen, you're absolutely nuts. In a sense, sorry, if you don't think it could happen, you're absolutely nuts. Of course, the U.S. government can ban it. So just remember that when we're talking about crypto. If the U.S. government or any government takes that as a threat, all you have to do is go banned. And by the way, in fairness to the U.S. government, Susie, in fairness to the U.S. government, if people are using it to hide income, they absolutely should ban it or figure out some way to get around that, because that's not the, listen, as much as I hate taxes, you still have to be on the up and up and pay your taxes. And if you're skirting your taxes, it costs other people who are paying their taxes honorably more money. So you should have a problem with it. So I don't know. When somebody asks me that question, I'm like, the U.S. government doesn't care if it's going to affect. They've done everything they possibly can to do whatever they think is in their best interest. Why would they stop now? Move on. And by the way, sorry, Susie, for eating like Ace Ventura.
What were you doing? I didn't even see.
I was just eating these nuts.
These nuts. Perfect. Awesome. Do you want to look at people? Guys, I totally see. I totally see all the comments. There's a zillion of them coming in. Paul, we're introducing the super chats moving forward. I guess, Paul, we're going to introduce there's so many comments, 330 some odd people watching. Make sure, as always, you guys tickle and caressingly fondle that thumbs up right now, because we're a little lagging on the thumbs up. But we're going to introduce super chats. So if you want to pay a little cheddar and get your comment answered by us on these live streams, Paul, I just think it's time, with so many people asking so many things and so many new patrons. It's hard to keep track of y'all. We knew this day would come. So
and we'll do it. By the way, when we do it, it'll be expensive, but all the net revenue will go to charity, because I'm not here to try to make money off it. It's just a way for us to try to organize the chat a little bit better. All the money from all the requests that are made and all the super chats will go to a charity of some sort. I'm always big on education and kids, so we'll figure out some way of doing that.
I wasn't quite aware of that, Paul. I'm glad you announced that now on the show prior to our team meeting. I thought I was going to make a little extra tip.
Well, I announced it in the show weeks ago.
That's true.
Remember?
Yeah, I'm just hoping you forgot. So, all right, everyone is all over this Poncho. I don't know how Mo must have told all these people about this monkey that's outside of your house, Poncho the monkey. They want a Poncho ETF. They want Poncho to choose some of the stocks, which I'm sure would be better than some of our financial planners out there.
Somebody suggested a free Poncho shirt. Like a shirt that said free Poncho. I thought it was a great idea. That was so funny.
I mean, it's taken up a majority of the comments in the live stream is all about Poncho. Poncho, the monkey. That's an old monkey, right? It's like 40-year-old monkey.
I think it's like 25. I'm not 100% sure though.
Nice. Oh, I see. Susie's saying that Mo shows the monkey on the bid and ask. Of course he does.
Mo show his monkey on bid and ask.
The last question I have, if we've already done, if you don't want to do Kroger, which
we've done Kroger 1,000 times. It doesn't change much. They had a big year last year because of good groceries. We did it like just literally 2 or 3 weeks ago. They had a big year last year because of groceries. So if you like it a lot, just remember that last year is probably not very sustainable. So all the numbers from a trailing 12-month perspective the last 12 months are going to be skewed to the positive for Kroger. If you believe that this revenue and this profit is sustainable for long periods of time, then go for it, because it's selling cheap, I think. But I don't think the last year is a very, just like if last year, when we look at stocks where they were affected to the downside because of last year's revenue, I don't hold it against them. I cut that out. Same thing on the upside. You can't just give, unless there's a sustainable reason why all of a sudden people will be going to the grocery store to that level for the future, then you just can't give it to you just can't give them that credit for ongoing future.
One of my final questions, Paul, I'm wondering, with gas prices going up, of course, it's always the president's fault. Whoever is the president, it's always their fault with gas prices. As you know, of course, you're very wise. But with gas prices going, people are asking about BP. Obviously, I would assume price will be going up as people start traveling, getting out there. You want to look at BP? What are your thoughts? Do you analyze gas companies?
So the issue with oil and gas companies is it's very reliant on the commodities prices. And from a long-term perspective, I do think we're going to become less and less reliant on oil. Does that mean oil is going away? No, absolutely not. I do believe in the next 15 or 20 years, the vast majority of cars will be electric. Oil prices are $60 a barrel right now. I didn't realize they got that high. I mean, do you see? Are you sharing my screen and stuff?
Yeah, I see it.
I didn't know it got that high. Did you?
No, gosh, that's right. Remember, it was so almost low to zero at one point.
Look, 1 year ago. Look at that. Remember that day? Negative 37. So oil prices, when oil prices are higher, oil companies can make more money. When oil prices are low, they can make less. I mean, they just make less money. It's no different than gold. When gold prices are higher, gold refineries and miners are going to make more money, et cetera. So the question is, do you believe that they're going to be sustainably making more money as time goes on? I don't know. Let's actually go look at BP and see how they've done in the last year. Wow, $25. I got lucky and bought BP at $15.
Yeah, you and I both bought. Yeah, you and I both bought it around 15. You and I.
Oh my God, we got like really lucky, and I sold it at 25.
That's right, we did that. Yeah, that's right. That was last fall, I think, right? Or last summer? Wow, look
spring.
At that.
Wow, that's funny. I literally got. By the way, that's probably the luckiest trade I've ever done in my life. Literally the bottom to the top. So, but look at BP over the last 10 years. Or, by the way, the other thing about this data is we're going to be getting data going back to 1987 soon. I don't know when that's going to be implemented, but it will be happening. But, look at it. It was as high as $60-some a share in 2010. But remember, we were coming off really high oil prices back then. In 08, I think oil prices had $140 a share. Oil companies I remember back then, Seth, people hated oil companies saying they're making too much money. It's not fair. They're too profitable, blah, 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 blah. I don't hear anybody saying now, let's look at their income statement now. Let's see how they're doing now. They lost $20 billion last year. Is anybody complaining to oil company that BP is losing $20 billion last year and we feel bad for them?
Of course not.
Of course not. So look at these inconsistent profit numbers. 25 billion. Let me make it bigger so that, look at this, the last 10 years, 25, 11, 23, loss of 5.5, loss of 6.5, 115 million. So basically break even, 3.4, 9.3, 4. I mean, the profit's too inconsistent. Remember, Warren Buffett's big on energy and oil. He loves these companies. I don't, because I don't understand oil and commodities prices very well. Does that mean you can't make money? Of course not. Of course it means you can definitely make money, but especially in oil companies, you want to look at longer term numbers. Go track their revenue and profit and track it relative to the price of oil and see how it does. And if you think oil prices are going higher, you're better off making a bet on a company like this. If you think they're going lower or staying the same, just factor it into your assumptions. But as you can tell from these numbers, they're not consistent numbers. Doesn't mean they won't make money. They're just not consistent. Let's look at their cash flow. Their cash flow over the last oh boy. Look at these cash flow numbers over the last 10 years. 2 billion, 2.7 loss, 3.4 loss, 10 billion, basically even, 6 billion loss, 2.4 billion, 6.2, 10.35. So look at this, guys. Last year's free cash flow was only $144 million loss, but their earnings were a $20 billion loss. They probably wrote something off last year that mattered big time. Special income charges, $11.5 billion loss there. Plus oil prices being poopy. I mean, look at the drop in revenue last year. People weren't driving, less people were doing stuff. So it's just so this might be the right time to buy. I don't know. I just don't feel like, for me, it's the right thing to do. I would actually, I would follow BP on a trade though. I feel like with this volatility and how much it can change, this is probably the thing to trade.
I guess I hadn't looked at the charts in a while. You and I did get in at the same time, in and out. Obviously, I was listening to your guidance, so it seems like we got lucky back then. Or I'm sorry, it was preparation and thought. But yeah, it's amazing. It hasn't really spiked over 25 and since then. So all right, Paul, I love what's going on. We had a great turnout today. I'd love maybe just a few minutes, folks, of anything non-stock. Unless, Paul, you have anything else to say stock-wise, I'd love to get some non-stock.
No, that's a good idea. Let's do some non-stock questions.
Non-stock questions. While they start pouring in, I will let you know again. Patrons, next Thursday is the day. It's finally out. You guys get the software that Paul was just using. All that, the money that you paid through Patreon to support and really we're hoping change your financial outlook and your life and the way you approach investing. You're finally getting the 8-Pillar website, and so we're excited for you. My kids are excited to use it on a daily basis. I would say that, Paul, we do have that fireside chat again for you patrons next Friday at 6 from Paul's mansion. We'll be going live just for our patrons only, so we don't have to fiddle through some of the other folks that are popping in and out. We'll have a session just for you guys. And Paul, I had a conversation today with a patron about some Magic cards. He approached me, said he's selling his Magic cards. So Andy, if you're out there, good to see you. We were talking Magic cards today on the Discord. So okay, Jasper says, do you like soccer? Paul, you do not follow soccer. I don't either.
No, I don't. But our fantasy sports game, Dynasty Owner, will have a soccer component to it in years to come, right, Tim?
Soccer
is a very popular. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, and the money in soccer is insane. So we will be part of it.
People are thinking, Paul, it would be fun if I got on the board, you and Mo sat down in the chairs, and I acted like the expert in teaching you what Magic the Gathering is, how it's played, and why it's valued so much. So get ready for the Magic the Gathering episode on Everything Money.
I miss the studio. As much as I love being down here, I miss the studio.
I do too. We're gonna get you guys. I just told Beth today, we just need to get the boys to come home. We'll get the team back. We'll get the band back together in the studio and get this cooking. So, Austin says, where'd I play ball at? I played at a small Division III college here in Ohio called Worcester. Nothing too special. I played center, and I got pretty darn good at it, Paul. Let's see, Paul. I meant to tell you, we analyzed a real estate deal for me, a local real estate deal here in Akron. It was an 8-unit apartment. We bid $180 full ask price on it. We lost out, Paul, and there's the sister unit right next door is up for sale right now for $350,000, Paul. So wow. maybe that's why we missed out at 180. All right, Paul, who do you like in the Masters? Are you watching golf? I do not watch golf.
I love watching golf, even though I don't play golf that much. I like watching golf. Who do I want to win the Masters? Jordan Spieth.
You like him?
What do you think? Anybody who knows about golf, Jordan Spieth just won last week for the first time in 4 years. He's a great guy, great golfer. I want him to win more. Obviously, if Tiger was in it, I'd want Tiger to win again. But, man, poor guy. Oh, well.
Yeah, Paul, one of our patrons, Harry, is saying he's saying we're too nice and that we should probably do some more exposed videos, the truth behind some of these Yahoo YouTubers. I said, if I got you fired up, you could probably go off on some of these folks about their tactics and antics. And so Combs Uke is asking who would win in a fight to the death, Kathy Woods or Stockmole. Kathy's an older gal now, and Stockmole looks like he hasn't done very many push-ups in his life. So it would be an interesting death fight. Wouldn't you agree? Paul, how did you end up with a guy? How did an Ohio guy end up in Michigan? Yeah, why did you go to Michigan, Paul? What other colleges were you going to go to?
Technically, when we first came to the U.S., we lived in Michigan for 3 years. Then we moved to Missouri in '87, and then finally to Ohio in '90. And my parents always just loved the University of Michigan, and that's how it ended up happening. So, I mean, listen, it was either Michigan or I don't know, Ohio State. But the problem with Ohio State was I could read and write. And I just didn't want to be around a bunch of morons. I mean, yeah, they can play football really well, but I can read and write. So it mattered more to me to do that.
Harry says in a minute or less, Paul, how did you guys make your first 100K? Your parents
I answered that and said I got a job.
Oh, I thought you said your parents just gave it to you.
Well, yeah, I think he meant earned, and I got a job.
Yeah, I also got a job and just started saving, of course. So, let's see. What would you? Oh my gosh. Why we? Okay, so I set up a magic channel on the Discord. People are asking for now another magic channel. Jonathan, I love you and I love magic, but we set up that magic channel and no one gave a crap after the first 7 minutes. So we'll see how that goes. We need an EM meet and greet. Don says we need an Everything Money meet and greet picnic party. I mean, yeah, Paul, we got to do some cool things. I mean, when is the Everything Money Mexico weekend conference where we get all the OGs down and get after? What do you think?
The problem with we were talking last night about an event and putting on an event for Everything Money. Doing one down here would be extremely expensive. I mean, we're talking probably $5 or $6 grand per person. So I'd rather figure out a way to cut that price well in half. I mean, that'd be an exclusive event, obviously, but we can figure it out because we have multiple houses here we can lease out for everybody. But it would be an expensive event. But I'm open to it. We have to figure these things. Listen, as we're growing, we're 28,000 subscribers, and we're well on our way to doing more and more. I just love the growth of it because it's not, Seth, we always talk about, rapid growth. I don't talk about rapid growth. I like slow and steady, just like other businesses I like to invest in. I like that for our own companies. I like solid 10 to 20% growth a year. Now, granted, Everything Money is going to do a lot faster than that at the beginnings, but I like the steady growth that I can rely. Because to me, if it can grow fast, it can decline fast. If it grows slow and steady, it declines slow and steady. That might not be logical, but I just like slow and steady growth that I can go to the bank with every single year. And every year is better than the last. I love being able to say that. I've never had a down year from the previous year in all my career. And to me, that's something I can live so much comfortably in my life, knowing that every year is better than the last. So as we grow Everything Money, I just want to make sure whatever we do is a sustainable thing that we're going to do. The software is a sustainable thing that we're going to create, that I'm going to dedicate people to, and the revenue bringing in for it is going to be dedicated towards making sure it gets better and better.
People are asking.
By the way, we might do. I did mention Vegas last night to our group, Max, and some people were like, but Vegas is great because there's so many things to do, and it's where a lot of companies go and have events. But we would do places that are warm. That way we can do it in the wintertime from Ohio and leave, because I don't think many people are going to come to Akron for an amazing event, unfortunately. I think I'm the only person in the world that loves Akron. People
do want me to shave my beard at 1 million subscribers. I don't know if that's going to happen, but boy, 1 million seems like, it seems so far away, Paul, that we have to grow 50 times. This is a pretty wild channel if we get up to 1 million. But your thoughts on when we can reach 1 million, Paul? What are your thoughts on that?
2023. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact number, but I think 2023. Listen, to me, if we finish this year at 100,000, great success. If we finish next year at 250 or 300, great success. If we finish the next year, whatever it is, as long as we're growing and our Patreon is growing and people are not only growing the Patreon, I want people to stick around. I want people to see that value and go, I'm never leaving this because I'm going to need this the rest of my life. That's what I want to happen.
Paul, I think it's time that we probably have to get the wrestling match going.
Listen, that's on you, bro. I told you to set that up. What are you doing?
I would say is we talked about the inflatable, the sumo suits. We talked about maybe doing me versus you and Mo at the same time. I am getting older in age, so yeah. Oh, Matthew Jones is saying, what about the no beard filter at 500K? I mean, I have photos of me without a beard. They're shocking. But yeah, I guess we could do.
I like bearded Seth more than non-bearded Seth.
Well, this mustache tickles my nose a lot, Paul. And so what is that? You
know what's funny about that, Seth? You see my little mustache I have going here, right? This little
look at that
fake
thing.
Mustache. Sometimes when I'm trimming it, I miss a hair and it tickles my nose, and I'm like, boy, how does Seth do it with 1,000 hairs there? I can't do it.
Not well. I mean, it looks like I'm picking my nose the whole show. We know that, guys. I mean, you've seen the show. This is crazy. Oh, Dan, do you do deep sea fishing in Mexico? Dan, I thought the answer was no, but when you go down there, Andrew, who was on our show earlier, Andrew and Darnell literally are pulling in massive fish they're taking pictures of, and a lot of them. Yes, so you can go deep sea fishing down in Mexico. Of course, it's gorgeous. Everyone says we should do it. Everything Money, Call of Duty, or Counter-Strike tournament. You guys can set it up on the Discord. I have no clue what Paul and I don't play those. We could wrestle.
Well, remember we have an EM cardio hashtag on Peloton. So if you own Peloton, add us on hashtag EM cardio. because we're trying to get a group of people together that we can do like Saturday morning workouts and Saturday morning bike, right? Mo's the one in charge of this. He's going to put it in the chat right now, but he's been talking about doing a everything money cardio session on the Peloton, which is great.
And I do love, folks, if you're watching still, it's amazing, Paul, when we go off topic a bit and just talk about some BS, we only lose about 10% of our viewers. So it's nice to see you guys really care. Paul, I'd like to do either an that magic show. I'd like to go live and answer some magic questions, maybe show off my collection. It is quite impressive, as you know, Paul. And so if there are some nerds out there interested in Magic the Gathering, I might just queue up a little live stream here. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow. Who knows? If you guys want to jump in, maybe I'll just be talking to myself and Jonathan.
Why don't you tell the story that you told me yesterday?
About
your Magic the Gathering you sold in 2006.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. So Magic has made some news of late because the holy grail of cards, Black Lotus, they had some graded ones go off on eBay. One just a few months ago went for $250,000. One just recently went for $500,000. And I actually forgot that I sold an entire set of beta many, many years ago, which is like that card, except it was another 300 cards plus that magical card. And I sold the whole set for around $8,000. And I think nowadays it'd be worth at least $1 million or something. I mean, maybe not $1 million, maybe, I don't even know. I mean, if one card can go for between 250 and 8, if it's nice, it was a nice set, Paul. So yeah, there's a lot of money in that. And yeah, Magic cards are the OG NFTs. Yeah, there's Jonathan right there queuing in. Jonathan, I think it's only me and you that are loving Magic, and the other 280 people watching, they're going to start jumping off. Yeah, Dan saying, what the heck are Magic cards? So let's not get into it. Oh yeah, so okay, some people are saying they'll watch. As a fellow beater. Okay, here we go, guys. Oh yeah. So anyway, okay, so let's keep going, guys. Paul, before we do leave, I'd love you to show off that Mexican view.
Okay, so what do you want me to do, Seth? Do you want me to do you want me to
what I would say
this microphone?
Let's do this. Yeah, I would. So you're Wi-Fi'd. So what we'll do, folks, is Paul, you can unplug the microphone. You can walk outside, and we'll probably start losing you. So I'll just sign off, Paul. But for Paul Gabriel, we'll see you back home this week. And Paul's going to walk through the house a bit. Patrons, you've seen this house before. We did a tour. But Paul's going to walk outside until we lose him. Oh, my God. No, Paul, just wait there. Now, look, here's what we're looking at. This is Santiago Bay. Look at this, folks. This is Santiago Bay on the western coast of Mexico. This is Manzanillo, that gorgeous bay, those beautiful mountains. The sun sets right behind that. There's where we eat lunch. Show them the pool, Paul, to the left there. Oh, can you hear me, baby? Look at this thing. It's just gorgeous. And beautiful staff. It's incredible. Now, Paul, go ahead and walk off to that cliff so everyone can see. Oh, look at go walk off. I hate that, but go walk over to that cliff and show people what they can actually see. Again, folks, this is Mexico. So look at this. Look at this. So when you wake up in the morning, those crashing waters is what you hear, and you smell the sound of bacon being cooked by the beautiful staff. So, oh, and then Paul is going to walk around. Okay, so I'm just doing a virtual tour here, folks. This is funny. Paul's going to walk around. That is the second Mexico house off there in the distance. This is Casa de Sofia. This is a 5,000 square foot villa. It's a 4-bedroom, and it's absolutely incredible. And so, is Mo out there shirtless, Paul?
No, Mo. That's not Mo.
Okay, I was going to say you get a shot of him shirtless would be amazing.
That was on purpose, not you.
All right, folks.
On the camera, were you?
So, yeah, so the Casa de Sofia, the little house, the smaller house holds 8 people, and the house that Paul's in right now holds 14, Paul, right? 12 or 14, something of that nature. So
yeah, 14, but it's 12 with like 2 kids.
I see. All right, folks. Laura, absolutely access, private beach to the ocean. Laura's asking, do you have access to the ocean? You have it on both sides, baby, with this villa. It's incredible. All right, guys, that is our show. Paul, in closing, what would you like to tell your beautiful fans?
Thanks for the support. As cheesy as that is, thank you so much for the support. Keep it coming. A week from now, you guys have the software. It's going to be awesome. And this thing is just growing.
That's our show today. We appreciate you guys staying in. The software is a week away. So many new things coming. We appreciate your support. Get on that Patreon. Those tiers are filling up, folks. And you know I love you. You know I love you. Stay true. I love you guys. See you guys. See you around.